let's just talk about this Harry Potter, man.
Man.
We are getting a decade long, a 10-year event of a Harry Potter series that is going to be more true to the books. So it's going to be was 7 seasons, I think it was, or 6 seasons, where every season is going to be a book.
So 7 seasons. Awesome. Yeah, so it's going to be 7 seasons. But a decade, and so they have to get kids young enough to be able to grow up with it. And how do you do real stuff in those first two movies? That was my biggest complaint about. Well, it wasn't my complaint when I was that young because I was watching. I was also young, but reading the books now, there's things in the first couple of books that you didn't see from Harry Potter because it was basically for kids. How do you bring that up in these TV shows? I don't know. And is it going to be too kiddie for people, or is it going to be adult and too adult for kids to watch? Or do you want kids dealing with that stuff?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, because like watching the documentary of the anniversary kind of reunion thing that they did on HBO, was it last year, I believe?
Yep.
And them talking about what they did in the first 2 films when they were like babies, man, and getting 3 actors, child actors at that point, like young, to be that good and stick it out like that entire time. That's gonna be rough to do now. You're gonna have to get them young, which is already a challenge, and then sign them onto a long contract, and then hope no one does anything stupid within the 10 years. So
so there's other things that are going to happen. So first of all, J.K. Rowling is part of this, right? So because she's part of it,
she's a producer, an executive producer.
But so we saw the backlash we got from the game. So imagine what we're going to get from her being part of this TV series. You're going to see all type of backlash coming from that.
You're already seeing it.
And then what are you going to do now? Now they're talking about Hermione was always black. Was always supposed to be a black character. So what I see is, hey, Harry, you're a wizard, shawty. Yeah. Oh, for reals? No.
Or are they going to bring up the Key and Peele Wizarding School of Magic in the hood? That's what my favorite. He goes, this one got a silencer. Why do you I don't know why. But yeah, man. I mean, her J.K. Rowling being involved is definitely going to be an issue. But I think she's going to be involved in a way where her name is going to be on screen. I think that's it. Like an executive producer really doesn't do much, like an EP like that. And I don't see her doing that.
Because they're going back into the books. So if you're going back into the books, you need to know. Sometimes you need to know from the source what's going on. Even though she's a revisionist history person, like she goes back and says, "Oh, Dumbledore is always gay. He might have been, but I think you just made that up after you got in trouble by saying some stuff. Like Hermione was always black. How? I read that book 15 times. I didn't see that. Yeah. Now I do agree, like that Hogwarts always needed more diversity. I always thought that, but
and not just what's her name? Cho Chang.
The Cho Chang, yeah.
I don't know if that counts as diversity.
No, I mean they had some as they grew up because they had the tall black kid that was there that dated Jenny for that 1 year. But that's that's all we had. But I don't know. I mean, you definitely need more diversity. That's just the truth. You do. But I don't know what type of backlash, and can they survive the backlash of that along with the J.K. Rowling's? And why are you going to give it a decade knowing that all this shit going to be coming down? Like that's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you hit something very, very special with the movies, with the movies with Daniel Radcliffe and all of them. Yeah. And the books were very, very special to a lot of people. And then the movie started coming out, and then that brought in a whole nother audience of people. And
people that swear by the books and the movies. Yeah. Like people, Daniel Radcliffe will always be a superstar forever.
Yeah.
It's not like he has he made $100 million off those movies. which is great, but he's bigger than that. Like he is Harry Potter. So for someone to step into his shoes and not have him to kind of bounce back on, because they're not going to be part of it. J.K. Rowling is part of it.
Yeah,
that's going to be a very hard thing. You know, I can see them doing it without Emma Watson, without Rupert Grint, but without Daniel Radcliffe, that's just asking a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, I mean, what would you put them as? Like, they're going to be like a parent in the background or something like that? Like,
no, you don't just have him as being an executive producer, someone that you can talk to, someone that the characters can talk to,
the young actors
that understands where they're coming from. So, because if he tells you something's going on, I dealt with this just like you're dealing with it right now. You will feel like I have this kindred spirit that I can really relate to, that can get you through these problems. Because you see how many times they all tried to almost quit. I mean, they had to be talked back into coming back, you know, all those times. And can you imagine having him as part of that? You know, I don't know how you get this for 10 years, you know, or do they end up coming back and it's going to be like Stranger Things, where, you know, everyone has like full beards, you know, and, you know, like, you know, you're 28 years old. How are you in high school?
He goes, I gotta get ready for a potions class.
Like, you're 35 years old. What you talking about? You're in high school. You know, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know how you get away with that. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I mean, it's a good thing because you could stay more true to the books. Because I, from what I understand, like Hermione is way more of a badass in the books, than she is in the movies.
She's also not supposed to be very, very attractive. You know, from the beginning, she's supposed to be very unattractive, and that's where I have a problem with this whole race swap. Why is she supposed to be unattractive? You're gonna try to make her unattractive all of a sudden, and then they're gonna say she's black. No, I don't like that.
That's interesting.
I don't like that. I don't like that idea. You know, so I'm just not for that.
Yeah. Because you can already see stuff like that, like, you know, they get a little black girl and then like they make fun of her hair, or they make fun of this, you know, they make fun of that. It's like, yeah. I mean, you already would get people like, say, like Chillmonger, you know, who will make 15 videos about race swapping Harry Potter characters. You know what I mean? So, and he
might be right in this. I'll be on him like, yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah, you know. So I mean, and he's not the only one. There's a lot of other people that think the same thing. You know, it's like if the character was a certain race, then you write it that way. You know, and like you said, J.K. Rowling is definitely a revisionist. You know now. Yeah. You know, but we'll see. They come back for the money.
I don't think you could pay Daniel Radcliffe enough money.
He don't need it.
I don't think
he doesn't need the money. I think he's his own.
Maybe Rupert Grint. He has a kid. You know, he has a lot of stuff going on. He lost a lot of the money. He didn't make as much money as everyone else did. So maybe him. But you know, Emma Watson's made enough money, and she's made some decent movies, and she's I think she's gonna be fine. You know, I can see Rupert. He's probably making money off the Harry Potters. We see every time you turn on the TV, one of the Harry Potter movies is on.
Oh, it's TNT, TBS.
Sci-fi, no matter what it is, it's always on. FX, something is always on. So I mean, he's probably still getting paid off of that. He probably makes more money than most actors just off his royalty checks. I don't think he has to worry about that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think they're gonna care too much. Hopefully, this new series will give more shine to some book characters. They got the Shaft in the movies. Yeah, here we bring Brandon in. Hello, can you hear us?
Freaking hate the Wi-Fi in this building.
Yep, but we're just getting into the Harry Potter stuff right now.
Yeah, which I knew we were getting into soon, and my Wi-Fi failed me just as we were about to start talking about it. So, what did I miss? Because I have, what did I miss?
Well, we're here. We're just kind of bringing up the comments. Xavier said, hopefully the new series will give more shine to some book characters that got the Shaft in the movies, which, from what I understand, are a lot. There's a lot of characters in the books. There's a lot
of characters. I mean, Dobby should have got more screen time than he got. Dobby was a huge thing. I mean, especially the first 3 books, there are a lot of characters that are around that we never talked about.
Yeah, there's, you know, my initial knee-jerk reaction to them doing this series is like, you know, what for, because I think even though the movies weren't 100% like spot on and did leave a lot of things out that I would have liked to see, you know, I thought they kind of did what they set out to do, but at the same time, the live action movies left out a lot of things that I'd like to have seen. So maybe this is an opportunity for that particularly with Goblet of Fire, which is a movie that I didn't really like at all because of the because of all the things that they left out.
They missed out. Goblet of Fire could have been 2 movies. It was so much that was going on. It's a huge story. Things like what about Charlie Weasley? So Charlie was in the book a lot. Okay, so we only saw him in like the last movie.
Yeah, and Charlie didn't even have any lines.
He had no lines. You just saw him like, I'm Charlie. You know. What about the people at the end and the twins? We never saw anything about the twins that are torturing students. We got the prime minister is in it. What's the strange one? Adolphus or something like that. Something strange. I'm just saying, there's a lot of them.
I mean, you're able to explore a lot more. Like each book, if you do 10 episodes, that's 10 hours.
Yeah.
That's 10 hours. You can really dive into each book a little bit more. You know, so hopefully.
So yeah, hopefully
they
don't
what's up, Big Ford? What's up, man?
What's up, Big Ford?
Bonzo?
Yeah. I do think whoever is picked to take over from Dan Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint has some huge shoes to fill.
Can you imagine trying to be Harry Potter again? Can you imagine if you choose the wrong kid, it's going to ruin his life.
Man, you're not kidding.
Ruin his life because Daniel Radcliffe is not just Harry Potter. He's the best Harry Potter. Like he's the best character. He embodies him. So like, it could ruin this kid's life. He won't be able to go back to school. He won't be able to do anything like that. So I don't know if I even want my kid to be dealing with that.
Yeah, you got to really want it, and the kids got to want it. But it's like it's hard. Like you're gonna tell a 10-year-old, hey, you know, you want to do this until you're 20. You know, like that's, you know, at first like, oh yeah, cool. You know, by the time he's 15, it's like I don't want to do this shit no more. I'm over it. You know, so that's gonna be interesting. You know, when it comes to stuff like that. But Tony said they could have created a new story following new characters to add to the Harry Potter universe.
I would have been good with that.
You know, they tried doing that though. It's called Fantastic Beasts, and it sucked.
And it didn't work. It didn't work.
You know,
I almost feel like Harry Potter, they caught lightning in a bottle. I really believe Daniel Radcliffe is really the real reason all this stuff really worked out because he was such a wonder, and as he grew, everyone else was growing up, and either one of those three embodied who you were, and I feel like that's kind of how the story, you know, kept it going.
I mean, but I think all the characters, it's near perfect casting. Like Malfoy, you know, Draco was like such a great little asshole. You know what I mean? Like he pulled that off great. You know, like Snape. What was his name? I'm drawing a blank. Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman is might be the greatest actor.
Yeah, you know, goes from Die Hard to Harry Potter.
Yeah, the only actors that I think there's kind of room for improvement with is Dumbledore. I wasn't a fan of Michael Gambon as Dumbledore. I thought
the first Dumbledore was really good though. The first one was exactly how.
The first one was awesome. Richard Harris was great, but then Michael Gambon just played him too aggressive for me. And then
I think it made sense towards the end of the movies. Towards the end, it made more sense.
But you know, like running up and bum rushing Harry and shaking him and asking him if put his name into the Goblet of Fire. I'm like, what were you even doing, man? Like, what? How many takes did you guys do before you said, "Oh yeah, that's the one"?
He goes and tackles him.
Yeah,
slaps him. What you do?
Hey, every time you want to do race swap, is Giancarlo Esposito because you can see him as everything.
He does everything. You know what? If anything, he'd be a good Snape because he's a good bad guy.
I see exactly. That's right. I would love.
I can see Snape. You know, because he's already good at that slow talk, very ominous kind of talk that he does in certain things. You know,
I wonder who's going to play. I wonder who's going to play Voldemort. I had trouble taking Ralph Fiennes seriously in that.
Just because he has no nose.
I think that's just Voldemort.
I got your nose. I got your nose.
Well, that and the fact that he constantly pranced around like a ballerina or something like that.
That's what made it even better. It's like this evil guy, and he's like, with this little like waves the wand.
The way he does it too, like
and
like pinky out, like
Hopefully they capture his physical appearance.
Bill Skarsgård. Nah, he's it, man. It's hard.
Who is Voldemort? No way.
Voldemort. He does the stupid eyes.
I'm not hating that though. I don't know. I know you guys said it, but maybe.
Yeah, let me bring this on. So Brandon said, I've never seen any Harry Potter. Not because I don't like Harry Potter. It's just because they just got away from me. Just the Lord of the Rings. One day I'll watch both of these franchises. Wait, you haven't seen Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
You're probably the only person in the world. That's amazing, Brandon.
No, like Harry Potter is, it's like Brian said, it's definitely lightning in a bottle. It's something really interesting, and it gets deeper and darker as each movie goes into it. But that's really cool. Lord of the Rings, though, the first ones, you know, the actual Lord of the Rings, not the Hobbit ones, were, oh my god,
were good and beautiful. Makes you want to go to New Zealand, right? Doesn't it make you?
Yeah.
If it wasn't such a far plane trip, I would just want to see the scenery and just understand.
Yeah. One thing when right before Love and Thunder came out, I think Taika went on a trip with his daughters, and it was like a daddy on tour or something like that. Amazingly fun. No, it was last year. I take it back because me and my girlfriend were in Disney last year, and we were watching his reels. And he goes to Hobbiton and does all these like different Lord of the Ring kind of places in New Zealand. And he's with his daughters, and him being Taika being all silly and stuff. It was awesome. It was like we would finish our day like in the pool watching Taika's reels of going around New Zealand. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. Yeah, Taika, like he was great. And his daughters are all like, it was
they're probably embarrassed by him too.
But man, do yourself a favor. Lord of the Rings, a weekend, watch it. Harry Potter might take a little bit longer because it's eight movies.
But you don't have to even look for it. It's probably on right now.
It's probably
somewhere. So it's probably on right now.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, you know what? The one Andromeda. I think that she's the big Andromeda one that needs to be. You know, she was in every one of the books. At least 6 of the 7 books she was in, and she was in the movies for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Wait, which character?
Andromeda. You want to change like what's her name? Nymphadora.
Tonks, yeah.
Tonks, yeah, like they're her parents.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now it's coming back. Yeah.
Like then every single movie. I mean every book, but not in the movies at all.
Yeah, they didn't even do Peeves the Poltergeist, so hopefully he's in it.
But they never talked about
they
Neville. How they didn't know if it was Harry or Neville that was really the chosen one, because they both had the same story.
Yeah. I mean, you get that in the movie right at the end, like the last 10 minutes of the movie. Oh, but it could be him too. You're like, wait, what? And you're like, oh shit, okay. You know, yeah. There's things that they need to they can get into. So we'll finish up on this. The casting has to be spot on, or I feel sorry for that kid. Exactly.
It's literally going to be like Star Wars. Like the hate that kid will get will be amazing. It'll be the worst in the world. I mean, you can't just do that.
Yeah. And they said maybe picking up years after the last Harry Potter film. And they did that too. They did
the Cursed Child and all the stuff.
Yeah, and that sucked. You know, they did a play and they did the book. The screenplay that was the book based off the whatever. My girlfriend read it and she said it was bad. It was like really bad, and the play did not do well on stage. Like
once
it didn't
again,
do well.
catching lightning in the bottle with Harry Potter, and I'm telling you, I don't think it would have done as well if Daniel Radcliffe was not the lead. I really believe he saved a lot, and then all the other characters kind of worked so well with him. He had a good relationship with all these other characters, and you saw the actual relationship there. You understood what was going on. So like it really took someone to be able to do that. And he's just a special person. So I don't think it's hard because the movies are still popular.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it's been over a decade since the last one. That's why I was kind of caught off guard with this announcement. Like already. Yeah.
I remember Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe. They're 33, 34, 35 years old, guys. Like, so that means we grew up with them, but they're old. So like so I mean I guess it makes sense. But I think this is going to be one of those remakes that everyone's going to say we probably shouldn't have done.
I mean maybe. I mean a lot of people are excited about it. They're like okay, like it seems like a lot of fans are behind it. But that could easily change, man. That could easily change. They like Lilo and Stitch is a great example. They show like, oh, here's Lilo, and you're like, okay, cool. And then you're like, oh, here's Nani, and here's this, and you're like, wait a minute,
this doesn't make any sense.
So it really, the kids are going to be the main one. Harry's going to be the main one, and then everyone behind them. But the kids are going to be really, really big.
I think it's the love of the characters. When you love something, you grew up with something. Like as I said with the Lion King, for me, there's nothing they could have done for me to be on board with when they changed anything. So I think that's gonna be a lot of people with Harry Potter. Like people are not going to be on board if they change anything. If it's not from the book and not from the movie, and they change it, people are going to hate it. And I don't know if it survives 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. That's a long. Who was I watching? I think I was watching John Campea, and he brought up a good example. He's like, you're really putting this as a big project. He goes, the last time a studio did something like this was Universal, when they're like, hey, we're gonna have this monster universe thing, and we're gonna start off with the Mummy, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And they had all these plans of like this big universe that's going to go on for years and years and years, and they couldn't get past the first movie, and then it just died, So, and it sucked because I was kind of interested, but after that first one, I get why they're like, yeah, no, we're done. I mean, could this be a one season? They're like, maybe we're not gonna keep it going, and just be a little blemish on the Harry Potter.
If it can't add up to it, I mean, because Harry Potter is so big. I go to Universal, the first thing I think about is going, Diagon Alley. I have to do those things because it's that big, and it's the biggest attraction for Universal Studios. So it's still that big today, 20 years after the first movie, came out. That's craziness. And I don't know if you could capture that same, and if you can't capture it quickly, then there's no way it's going to be able to keep going. I just don't see it.
Yeah. But, well, like Tony asked if, does generations of kids today care about Harry Potter? Maybe not as much as like maybe someone in our generation who, read the books and saw the movies and stuff like that. But it's still very popular. And I think Universal keeps it popular because you go to Disney when you're in Florida, do all that shit, but then like you go to Universal and then you're like, you walk in. I remember the first time when me and Erica walked into Diagon Alley and we're like, wow, like holy crap.
It's like you leave Florida,
you are there.
You're in England, and you're there, and the temperature changes. It goes from like 115 degrees, it becomes 60, and it's rainy, and you see a big dragon.
And then you pay the money, so you can go to the other park, just so you can go on the train and see all of that thing. And then you get off the train, you go on, do the whole thing, get on the train, and then you go to Hogsmeade. Then you're over there, and you see Hogwarts, there, and like.
You realize you spent really, 6 hours doing that because it makes that much, and they make money out the. I have 3 wands, real wands, guys. I have 3 of them. My kids have their entire outfits.
Not to mention the glasses he's wearing right now.
Not to mention.
Yeah. So, but I think Universal really kept the vibe alive. So when kids go there and they get to be immersed in this world, which is why I think a lot of kids like Disney, is because you go to Disney, you're like, holy shit, like I'm in a fairy tale, kind of like it's a magical land. You go to Universal, you're like, okay, this is fun. But then you get there, you get to the Harry Potter, and then you become immersed in it all. And you see the kids changed, and it's everyone. It's the kids, it's the adults, the vibe changes. And I think Universal helped keep Harry Potter alive for the younger generations when they go visit on vacation. But I think the show, if done right, could bring a whole nother audience in, bring the younger kids in. And
100% agree.
But the books are still popular. Books are super
Still on
popular.
bestsellers list.
Yeah.
My 8-year-old is reading the first book right now as we speak. She's upstairs pretending to be asleep, literally under her covers with a flashlight, reading it right now. Like this is what it does.
Yeah. And they keep reimagining the books. They have the new Mina Lima, whatever, where they're like 3D books with this great artwork that is the book. It's literally the book. And that was like, but now they get to charge like $50 a book because it looks pretty.
And then all you say is, damn it.
Yeah.
Here's my money.
Take my money. Yep. I need to download that to be one of our gifts, where the kid like hands the credit card, bangs the table, just hands it.
That's my life. It's literally, that's me every day. Like, damn it. There you go.
Yeah. We got Purple. I think it's going to be dope, especially if they dive into other things that they couldn't in the movies. Yeah. And I think that's going to be the deciding factor, where you're like, oh shit, I know about this character more. Or like, oh, Hermione is really a psychopath who, like traps people in bottles and shit and does like crazy things, So yeah, I think them getting into the cool stuff that the books got and the movies didn't might be able to be its own thing. You're like, oh, the movies are the movies, but the shows are, their own thing.
But do they have to look like the character for it to work?
That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard.
I hope so. They were described very distinctly in the books, but they already said it's gonna have a more diverse cast. So
Hermione gonna be a little black girl,
Yeah.
When in it. So but I feel like once a little black girl, saying Muggle blood, is going to take on another type of feeling. So that things like that going to take on other feelings, and I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing like the Malfoys being like a black family, but very like proper and like cocky, arrogant, bad guy kind of, but they're like like I think that would be like an interesting thing. Like
I wouldn't be upset with Neville. Because I said Neville's another awesome character that they never really we never talk about his parents. We see his parents, but we don't really dive into how awesome they are and how they sacrifice their lives for Neville. Like, I mean, Neville's grandmother is in the books, but we don't talk about anything, with the Longbottoms. So
yeah. So, I mean, they can race swap some of them. I think they'll be okay. I think if you do certain ones. Like we said before, Hermione's supposed to be awkward looking young girl, and if you do that as a black young girl, that might.
What are you saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what are you saying?
So I don't know. And even though I think my girlfriend, when she read the book, she goes, no, she like said like, no, she's like this white little girl, without saying a white little girl. Yeah. So, but we'll see. But I mean, that like we said, that's a whole nother. We got the J.K. Rowling controversy. We got, are the actors going to be good controversy? We got, are kids going to care about this? There's a lot of things that could damper this kind of excitement. But if season 1 kills it, then it's game over. Then it's just cruise control the rest of the way, I think.
Yeah, they really need to stick the landing with season 1 and like the advertising and especially the first trailer better be on point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, little things like the sorting hat has to be right. They have to do the things the right way. And if they do, I can see people loving this and fall in love with this, just like they are with the game. People are falling in love with the game. So if they hit these things correctly, it could be good. But we'll know. I think we'll know by episode 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean the leaks of the pictures, like, oh, this is our new Harry. I mean, a lot of people are gonna either be it sucks or it's good, and if more people are it looks good, then that's each step is gonna be very, very important until we get the actual episode. So I don't know, but I'm excited.
I'm curious as to what Hogwarts itself is going to look like. If this right here is what Hogwarts is going to, or they're just going to keep it the original school, because the original school and all the sets, like Hogwarts in the movie was essentially a character all its own.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any. I wouldn't even be mad if they just reused the same, like the same 3D models, the same interior sets, and that sort of just the same sets in general.
I think they'll have to.
I can see that.
They'll have to, except maybe going more in depth. We'll see, each dorm a little bit more, but they literally have to. It has to have the same feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if you lose the feeling, you lose the people.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be this giant, and it's also got to be the giant castle. But also, I'm sure Universal was like, you better not change a god freaking thing, because like we spent a lot of money on these damn parks, so they better look exactly the same.
You know how many people just sit there and just take pictures of Hogwarts at Universal? They just sit on the river and just take pictures of that with them and their outfits like. Just.
I did see one casting that I will end with. This one is who's the Beast guy? Hagrid.
Hagrid. Yeah.
Is played by Shaquille O'Neal.
But we wouldn't understand he was saying it the entire time.
Hippogriff. Yeah. So that is funny because he's already freaking like 7 foot. So.
But I mean, he just say I am Kazam. I am Kazam. But is that the only thing you hear? They just be like, yeah.
That was funny. But you guys got anything else with the Harry Potter?
Pretty much it on my end.
Well,
yeah, I'm done. Except I want to know if they race swap Dean Thomas. Dean's the older black character in the entire movie.
Yeah, there was Dean Thomas, Lee Jordan, who was the Quidditch announcer, and then like Angelina Johnson was her last name, the other Quidditch player. So yeah, they really
the other Quidditch player.
They pretty much relegated. And there was I think the one the most prominent black character was Kingsley Shacklebolt of the Order of the Phoenix, and even they didn't give him a whole lot to do.
Oh yeah, nothing. I think Dean is in the movies in a lot more than anyone. I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah.
Besides the Order. Yeah, besides the Order. Yeah, I mean, that's it.
And like whenever I think of Dean in the movies, I think of the scene where Voldemort tries to hug Malfoy, and then it cuts to Dean with just this absolutely disgusted look on his face.
No, I agree.
That's funny. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think we have a release date for it yet. But
yeah, it'll be a minute. They're still in the early.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. They just announced it. I know a few months ago they were talking about it here and there. Like, are they gonna reboot it? Are they gonna do this? Are they gonna do that? So now we have the official decision from HBO is that we are getting a 10-year, decade-long Harry Potter series. So we'll see. When that comes out, we'll be talking about it for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, Brian's like, try
to not talk about it, guys. Let's see what happens.
Exactly.
Every conversation is gonna be reverted back to Harry Potter
somehow. But cool. But that is it for our talk about Harry Potter. I have a brain fart. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're live, stick around. We're gonna talk about some other stuff. If you're watching on replay, appreciate it. Thank you. We are almost at 850, and I think me and Brian, we were talking about
some giveaway stuff.
Some giveaways. I think 1,000. Once we hit 1,000, we're gonna do our big giveaway. But we're talking about doing 3 giveaways. So first place, second place, and third place.
Yes.
So we're figuring at 850, we'll announce third place. Around 850, and then 900 second place, 950 first place, and then 1,000 we'll do the giveaways. So kind of hype it up,
guys. These are some really good ones. the one for, I'm telling you guys, the one that we got for first place is going to blow your mind. It's going to be pretty awesome.
When you said, "Oh, we're going to give it this way," I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Like, yes, this is what we're going to do. Thank you guys for getting us to this point. So, hey, tell your friends, share us. We're going to keep on going, keep on growing. But I think this giveaway is going to be epic. I can't wait to do it.
Yep, it's gonna be a fun time. But that is it for the Harry Potter. Stick around. We're gonna talk about some other stuff.